Also er ist noch nicht tot, wenigstens. Das ist Ashs Ziefer dagegen. Verstecken das auf. Alter, wollen die mich eigentlich? Blick verarscht. Siege Jared und dann auf einmal so, finde den Gasparten und den gegnerischen Verstecken. Also alle besiegen, gell? Gasparten, Alter. Einfach hier irgendwie jemanden besiegen und Cheats erreichen. Nee. Ich denke mal, ja, wenn Level Up kommt, dann denke ich mal Cheats, aber nee, denkt einer unserer Einheiten dann einfach. Habe ich 2 besiegt auf einmal? Ja. Das Partner, ja. Was bist du denn eigentlich? Da unten. Theoretisch wurde der ja schon gefunden, oder nicht? Das ist nicht der Gaspard hier vorne. Ah, hier. Das sieht doch verdächtig aus, oder? Hier, du bist doch dieser Gaspard. Aber man muss hier einfach alle töten. Nehme ich auch. Ey, der hat einen Schlüssel. Ist hier irgendwo eine Truhe? Sonst hätte der ja keinen Schlüssel, oder? Das ist ein Basiskommandant. Ich auch. Theoretisch sind ja jetzt nur noch, ist jetzt nur noch einer übrig. Hä? Ich guck mal, ob irgendwo eine Truhe ist. Auf dem Schlachtfeld die Truhe entdecke. Ich glaube nicht. Theoretisch habe ich nämlich einen Schlüssel dafür jetzt. Da muss ich die Bollwerke noch einnehmen und meinen die das vielleicht. Man soll die gegnerische Verstärkung ja besiegen. Oh lol, Alter, schießt das schon Level 20 erreicht, Alter. Alter, Level 20, ey. Würde mal interessieren, ob es noch so eine Art, ja, so Zwischenkarten gibt, Alter. Das wäre mega. Komm ich nicht weiter. Bist du auch von der Verstärkung eigentlich? Da oben komme ich nicht rein. Das denn nicht. Ist dafür vielleicht der Schlüssel? Warte mal. Dimitri? Ja. Aber er ist auch schon Level 18. Auch richtig stark, ey. Basiskommandanten können wir ruhig verkloppen. Das ist auch ganz okay. So, wir kommen dann angeblich nicht rein. Aber ich habe einen Schlüssel. Vielleicht ist der dafür da gedacht. Zur Not habe ich Ash noch. Der könnte auch theoretisch die Truhe eröffnen. Weil er komischerweise die Fähigkeit hat. So, warum komme ich nicht rein? Das ist einfach zu. Was war da? Was ist das denn da? Ach, Basiskommandant ist das nur. Das ist nicht so schlimm. Dann ist es nicht so schlimm. So. Aber so eine Truhe wäre schon mit sein, ne? Konnte nicht gefunden werden, was? Ja, konnte gefunden werden. Das ist eine Vase. Konnte ausfindig gemacht werden. Ja, dann. Let's go! Ja, ich muss einmal außen rum, ey. Hat er jetzt den Gaspard besiegt, Alter? Ja, du bist der Gaspard. Alle einfach auf ihn marschiert, du schießt, Alter. Alle auf ihn drauf, Alter. Ja, einfach alle drauf. Einfach alle drauf. Da ist er. Einfach draufhauen. Die befinden sich im Nachteil. Sylvain befindet sich im Nachteil. Die Du befindet sich im Nachteil. Was soll ich jetzt machen? Da. Gaspard besiegt, Alter. Das war immer hier alles. Lord Lenato. Der Nebel hat sich verzogen. Da unten ist die Truhe, Alter. Lenato ist aufgetaucht. Hey, Lenato ist doch... Ach nee, den müssen wir ja besiegen, ja stimmt. Und Ash hat sich ja... Wir haben ja extra Ash gefragt, ob er zurück nach Lenato möchte. Voilà. Und er hat sich halt dagegen entschieden, tatsächlich. Ja, was willst du denn? Basiskommandant will aufs Maul. Soll ich vielleicht mit Ash quasi Lenato besiegen? Versuchen zu besiegen? Komm, Kollege. Das ist dein Ziehvater, also hast du auch die Ehre. Ich finde das geil, ne? Überall alles einfach blau. Weil wir einfach jeden Scheiß eingenommen haben, ey. Ja, jede Basis haben wir Jede Basis haben wir eingenommen. Jede Festung haben wir einfach eingenommen. Mega. Das wird auch kein Rang S sein wahrscheinlich, aber ist scheißegal. Du gehst gerade falsch, Mann. Ist okay. Dorothea kommt mit Verstärkung. Alter, was willst du denn jetzt hier, Alter? Was willst du denn jetzt hier?
But he's done so much to ingratiate himself with the Empire. We can't exactly leave our new friend to die, can we?
Naja. Besiege Dorothea.
If we can just try to reason with Dorothea, though, we might be able to settle things peacefully.
The might of Dorothea is on our side. Yes, with our combined forces.
Alter, was willst du denn? Besiege den Boten, um verhindere die Verstärkung. Du machst das schon. Besiege und rekrutiere Dorothea. Das hat beim letzten Mal ja nicht so ganz geklappt. Dem ihr lieben Kollege. Du bleibst schön hier. Du wirst schön an mir geschnitzelt. Du wirst besiegt. So. Dimitri ist quasi bei der Dorothea dabei. Dimitri besiegt Dorothea.
No, I can keep fighting.
Dorothea, please. I don't want to see you die for nothing.
I can't say I want that either. All right, you win.
Ja. Dorothea wurde rekrutiert. Mega. Genau, müssen hier nicht sterben lassen.
Then I shall rebuke him to my final breath. Fling open the gates.
Alter, was ist denn hier los? Alter, Dorothea wurde jetzt rekrutiert und kämpft jetzt für uns aus. Du, Sylvain ist hier, Ingrid, Sheets. Ja genau, hier. So, Ash, let's go. Let's go, Ash. Gegen deinen Ziehvater. NATO gilt als Gaspard.
Far too many bridges to turn back now. Step aside, Ash. I have a duty I must uphold.
As do I. The duty of a knight to his kingdom. I'd never betray that.
You must reconsider, Your Majesty. The Central Church's blessing is not but a poisoned chalice.
Forgive me, Leonardo, but I must grasp it all the same. This is the brightest future I can give my people.
Falls ihr gefragt, warum ich jetzt gerade so leise war, ich habe gerade versucht, das Gespräch zu verfolgen zwischen Ash, Leonardo und Dimitri. Aber ich glaube, ja, der Du ist hier die bessere Wahl. Einfach schön draufkloppen, Alter. Oh, Ash hilft ja mit. Schön draufkloppen, Alter. Und tschüss. Sorry, Nato, auch wenn du Ashs Ziehvater bist, musst du leider eliminiert werden. Alter, der hat ja auch KP, Alter, das ist ja unglaublich. So, Kollege.
Take a breather.
Also, NATO gibt irgendwie auch, ey. So, Kollege. Eventuell zu besiegen. Ja, das war's. Leonardo wurde besiegt.
For he is soon to join you.
Sorry, Ash. Aber es ging nicht anders.
The battle is over. A fine effort, everyone. Especially considering the conditions.
Guess we did our job at least.
Well, well, doesn't someone sound disappointed? And what's with that look?
I don't know. We completed our mission and all, but it still feels like we lost somehow. Sure, we stopped Leonardo, and we put Geralt and his mercenaries to rout. but not before they dragged us through one of the toughest fights we've experienced. And most of all, I failed to take down the Ashen Demon. If that's not a loss, I don't know what is.
Wrong. You were hired to do a job, and you did it. And in the process, you've received a valuable reminder about the unique danger the Ashen Demon poses.
You're right. I can't believe one fighter could turn the tide of an entire battle like that.
Precisely. They're surely going to continue standing in our way, so do try to dig a little deeper the next time you square off.
Yeah, you're probably right. Thanks for the chat.
By the by, have you seen our valiant leader? I wonder where he's scampered off to.
No Felix or the others in sight either. Maybe they're having a meeting or something.
Sounds like you should try to track them down then. Though, on second thought, it may not be any of your business.
I probably shouldn't be sticking my nose into their private matters. But I am pretty curious. Let's go.
Let's do this. Ja, liegt noch Schaden, Alter. Mittelstufensieg erhalten. Ja, mega, Alter. Alle erstmal ein schönes Level-Up beschert, Alter. Richtig nice, ey. Großer Schritt vorwärts. Du kriegst ein Level-Up. Ash kriegt nochmal ein Level-Up. Auch schon mal zweistellig. Ja, Ingrid ist, glaube ich, noch so einstellig. Mercy ist, glaube ich, auch unter nett auch. Alter, Dimitri Level 19 auch schon, Alter. Ich bin auch Level 21. Schon, ja. Oh, Ingrid ist schon auf Level 8 gekommen. Das ist echt gut. Hat 2 Level aufgestiegen. Ja, Felix ist auf Level 11 gekommen. Das ist auch ganz gut. Ja, Felix ist wie Zorro quasi. Ja, Sylvain könnte sowieso sein wie Sanji, ne? Sides, könnte wie Robin sein, ne? Ja, sind schon alle ganz gut aufgestiegen, ja. Guck mal hier, ich bin Level 20 tatsächlich. Aber ich bin wahrscheinlich der Held. Ja. Level 21. Und damit habe ich auch tatsächlich gelogen. Wir sind tatsächlich auf Level 21. Alter, die Waffenfertigkeiten, Sendertechnik und Magie gelernt, Alter. Alter, Du, Alter, Ash hat was gelernt. Sylvain hat was gelernt. Also wir müssen echt mal nach diesen... Ja, Alter, Klamotten en masse. Und Dorothea ist jetzt spielbar. Und die gehört jetzt zu uns, genau. Ja, wie sie rekrutiert haben.
You did well, Miklana. I will remember the deeds you've performed here today.
Das ist Sylvains Bruder.
You know as well as I that I only did it for the money. Your money.
That's the man from before.
I don't mean to question you, but why exactly are you eavesdropping on them?
It looks like they're having an argument. Butting in now would just make things worse.
What are you playing at, Boar? This washed-up bandit doesn't deserve to look at our army, let alone be a commander in it.
It's a decision I made in collaboration with the Margrave. 2 years ago, after I ascended the throne, I ordered Gustav to capture him, made him swear his allegiance to the royal family, and gave him a unit of soldiers to command.
Spare me the details of how you did it. What I want to know is why.
My army was lacking leaders. We needed capable fighters to fill in the gaps. As for Miklon here, the Margrave himself has instructed him in all manner of military tactics. I've seen his prowess with my own 2 eyes. In the centuries since the time of King Lug, crests and relics have kept Fargus safe. We've come to depend on that power to protect us from outside attacks, and grown all too complacent in its wake. Naturally, we will take full advantage of our heroes' relics in the battles ahead with Adrestia. But we cannot protect our home with relics alone. If all who could wield them fell, so too would we. The blood of the heroes is thinner now than ever before. We need men like him among our ranks.
I don't doubt the truth of your words, but that's not the issue here. Do you really think it appropriate to trust a man barely removed from his life as a brigand with the responsibility of command?
Everyone's heard the stories of the elder Gautier brother, how he resorted to banditry and plunder. Do you not think our soldiers would object to being led by a man with such history?
Command, huh? It's got a nice ring to it. But you should know, I'm just a prisoner. My attendants, my aides, my best men, all stooges for the royal family. Breathing down my neck every waking moment. All the sleeping moments, too.
No wise remarks, Sylvain? You're standing there mute, as if this has nothing to do with you.
I was one of the first His Majesty consulted with. There's nothing I could say that I haven't already. I'm sure you can't stand the sight of me, Miquelon. But let's see if we can't get along, okay?
Anyway, now that we're all caught up, I'll await your next orders, Your Majesty, sir.
Let me guess. Any means necessary?
I won't defend it, though I do see use in such a man. What he did in his time as a bandit was monstrous, I admit that. And I deserve no small amount of judgment for giving him command in spite of it. But I can't help but wonder. Perhaps his life could have been dramatically different had he only possessed a crest. Same as the uncle I murdered.
I understand your reasoning, Your Majesty. Yet he's hurt so many people.
What's done is done. Stolen goods may be returned, but stolen lives cannot. If the man is unwilling to atone for his wrongdoings, then he will pay for it with his head. If he does wish to repent, however, then what better way to do so than by risking his life on behalf of our people? If any among us still can't forgive him, by all means, take up your arms and enact vengeance.
I get what you're trying to do, but you still should have talked to us first. This isn't about who shoulders what blame. It's a matter of letting us know what you're thinking.
You're right, Felix. My apologies. Now then, we march on Aryan Road as planned. With House Rowe's military might crippled, seizing the fortress should be a somewhat simpler matter.
The Silver Maiden. Can we really take it?
You saw how many troops they've already lost. Just plain math will tell you there can't be that many of them left back at the fortress. At least I sure hope not.
And I am sure Houses Karen and Geraint would be willing to lend us a few squadrons in return for the aid we provided them.
Agreed. And their militaries are both formidable indeed. I'll have to factor their support into our strategies moving forward. And what of you, Ash? Will you be joining the fight at Aryan Road?
Yes, I will. Though I do appreciate the concern, Your Majesty.
As long as you're sure you can handle it. Do not hesitate to retreat if it becomes too much for you. House Rowe's forces aside, we now have the added threat of Geralt and his mercenary band to contend with. The very same mercenary band you had been looking for, is it not?
Yeah. One of them in particular, a warrior known as the Ashen Demon, felled my entire company back before I met you. Not sure I'm looking for revenge exactly, But I do want to surpass them, no matter what it takes.
I see. This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Sorry, I wasn't really trying to hide it or anything. Just never came up, I guess.
I believe I understand. Overcoming Gerald and his mercenaries is what drives you in life.
Yeah, you could say that. It's the closest thing to a goal I have, for sure.
In any case, those people cannot be taken lightly. I'd like to avoid crossing blades with them as much as we can. But we'll likely encounter them sooner rather than later. Imperial forces are still encamped in the former Arendelle territory, after all.
Right. We'd better be ready for anything.
Es ist zwar schön und so, aber ich kann nicht einfach meine Kameraden im Stich lassen, die ich verloren habe.
Azure Gleam. Conspiracy in the air. Having laid Lonato low, the kingdom's army proceeds south. Count Rowe, who had prior declared fealty to the Empire, surrenders, and Aryan Road falls back into kingdom hands. With its foothold in the west lost, the Empire amasses troops in the former Arendelle territory to the south, prompting the army of Fargus to strike before Adrestia can regain its footing.
It's nice Aryan Road fell with little more than a hand wave, but it's hardly comfortable knowing the enemy is still on our doorstep.
Comfortable or no, we must take what few chances we do have to rest. Battle will be upon us again before we know it.
Not to mention the fortress is still a target. I mean, who wouldn't want their very own impregnable stronghold?
Our spies report that the enemy plans to mount such an attack from Arendelle land.
Arendelle, huh? It's been 2 years since the territory came under the Emperor's control. The wind carries rumors that Edelgard has been keeping Lord Arendelle imprisoned in his home since then. If it's true, No. Were the enemy to strike, and the fortress city to somehow fall, our path forward in this war would grow exceedingly perilous.
The West doesn't face the kind of constant threats we do, so there aren't as many strongholds here as in the North, right?
Basically. Though my uncle did say that started to change at least a tiny bit in the past couple of years.
In other words, the entire western region of the kingdom is likely to fall into enemy hands if we retreat from Aryan Road now.
Indeed. Which is exactly why we must take the offensive and restrain this Imperial snake before it can sink its fangs into us.
Hey, it'll be nice to strike first for once. It feels like we've been on the back foot for a while now.
Right you are. And remaining on perpetual defense would only lead to more meaningless, preventable deaths.
Offense is the best defense, I always say. We'll crush anyone who has the gall to stand against us.
There you go, getting carried away again. Look at them, all stunned into speechlessness.
Your Majesty, I bear terrible news.
Calm yourself. What is it?
The convoy escorting Count Rowe to the capital has been attacked by an unknown assailant. They've sustained heavy losses, and it seems Count Rowe has gone missing amid the chaos.
I see. And these assailants, we know nothing about them?
Very little, Your Majesty. The survivors claim to have been attacked by numerous mages.
Mages? No.
What's wrong? Do you know who it is?
You saw the court mage Cornelia during our battle at Ferdia, yes? Well, she disappeared almost immediately after. It's likely she has been burrowed away in western Fargus ever since. Which leads me to wonder if this attack wasn't her handiwork somehow. It's merely a feeling, though. I'd like to look into it further, if possible. But something tells me the Imperial soldiers won't wait around patiently while we go off hunting for clues.
Perhaps you should send a separate unit to investigate, while we attend to the Empire.
Yes, that would be prudent for now. We cannot afford to lower our guard for even a moment.